Testing power cords. Welcome to this first stop safety video. This video module outlines the process of testing power cords using a PAT tester. We'll cover the basics of this test and then test a variety of power cords, including mains extension leads. Basics of a power cord test. When testing power cords, we carry out the basic Class 1 tests of earth continuity and insulation resistance. In addition, when testing power cords, it is important to ensure that the wiring of the cable is correct. This means checking that the live and neutral wires are wired correctly. This test is usually called the polarity test. Testing an IEC lead. The power cords used for PCs are commonly known as IEC leads. Most modern PAT testers have a handy IEC lead test facility. All you have to do here is plug both ends of the lead into the tester and test earth continuity, insulation resistance and polarity. The polarity test checks the lead is wired correctly. This can only be done if you have both sides of the power cord. Testing a standard mains extension lead. If a PAT tester has an IEC test facility, then this can be easily adapted to carry out a mains extension lead test as well. All you need to do is connect the short IEC lead to the socket of the mains extension back into the PAT tester as shown. It's important to test all the sockets on a multi-way extension lead in case one of them has a poor earth connection. Testing long extension leads. It is very common to come across 10 metre and 20 metre extension leads. When these are tested on a PAT tester, they will normally fail the earth continuity test due to their length. However, an allowance can be made for the length by increasing the pass limit. On this tester, the C-word, a 10 metre extension lead will fail the earth continuity test as shown here. There is no way of continuing with the PAT testing. The BAT-PAT tester has a number of lead test options. On the standard setting, its limit is 0.25 ohms and it will pass extension leads up to 10 meters. Press the long lead button once and the limit is increased to accommodate leads up to 25 meters. Press the long lead button twice and the limit is increased to accommodate leads up to 40 meters. Testing surge-protected extension leads. Some appliances have built-in surge protection to provide immunity from damage due to voltage surges on the power lines. For example, many extension leads have surge protection built in. When surge-protected appliances are tested normally, they will fail the insulation resistance test due to the test voltage of 500 volts that is used. This can be seen on this PAT tester, the C-word. When this happens, the user is allowed to either make a note about the appliance being surge protected and pass it, or retest with a 250 volt test voltage if one is available on the PAT tester. For example, this is an option on this tester, the Q-Tech, shown here. With the BAT-PAT, this is not a problem, as it automatically uses 360 volts for the insulation resistance test and will pass surge-protected appliances. Testing extension leads with RCDs. RCD stands for Residual Current Devices. These devices are primarily used to protect you from an electrical shock. Extension leads with RCDs fitted are Class 1 appliances and not extension leads. This is because without mains power, there is no through connection to the mains socket. These need to be tested for earth continuity and insulation resistance. No polarity tests are required here. The easiest way to get an earth connection is by using a plug adapter as shown here. Testing 110-volt extension leads. 110-volt extension leads are often used on construction sites. In order to test this, you'll need a PAT tester with a 110-volt socket. Alternatively, you can use an adapter like the one shown here with a normal PAT tester. You'll also need this socket adapter to connect the 110-volt extension socket back to the PAT tester. Using the two adapters, both ends of the 110 volts can be plugged into the PAT tester and the earth continuity, insulation resistance and polarity test can be carried out. Testing a Clover leaf laptop power cord. When testing this type of power cord, an adapter is required to allow it to be connected to the PAT tester. In summary, it is important to have a suitable PAT tester to test the variety of power cords that are out there. There are adapters available to suit different types of power cords.